Where are we going?
Swimming!
Some bad hat, Harry.
It's a great white.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
1,100 men went into the water.
You son of a...
Hey everybody, it's Ross over at the Daily Jaws. I hope you're well. Just wanted to take you through a product that came out this year for the 45th anniversary of Jaws. This is the Life Book 45th Anniversary Special Edition. So Life magazine basically dedicated an entire book edition to Jaws. I think they were probably the only major publication to do this. So it's really great just to see it. Massive demand when it first came out, and hence why a lot of people have been asking us to do a video about it, because we were lucky enough to get a copy of the book. But these now fetch a tidy sum online. So if you look around, you can see them on eBay and everywhere else, but they're going to be a lot more pricey than when they first came out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the book itself so you can get a really good idea of what they did. So obviously on the cover we've got the classic Jaws poster, the Roger Castell original artwork, which is great to see. And then if we go straight in, the crew of the Orca, isn't that just a beautiful image? It's probably one of my favourite publicity shots ever. I think it's just so good. It encapsulates the whole story in just a single image, and the actors looking suitably intense and a very young Richard Dreyfuss. Let's move on. Here we have the contents page. So the book is basically broken up into sort of 4 sections. So you've got monster success, talking about the pop culture and the phenomenon, how they got it from the book to the screenplay to the screen, information about the shoot, and then the legacy of fear. And here we have a classic picture of Steven Spielberg with Bruce looking on, probably waiting for some kind of direction. And then along the right hand side here, we've got the whole team that were involved in this particular publication, and congratulations to those guys because they did a fantastic job. So here we start to look at the success and the phenomenon of Jaws, and obviously everyone remembers photographs of the queues of people trying to get in. Jaws was only on 400 cinemas when it first came out in the US, therefore sort of forcing loads and loads of people to have to queue outside. Very clever marketing ploy from David Brown and Richard Zanuck there. More great photos, one of the more classic ones from one of the beach panic scenes. This is one of our favourite behind the scenes pictures, just Spielberg and his actors just taking sort of a time out, showing a funny moment, which is great. Here we have a picture of someone, I believe that's going to be Martha's Vineyard beach, looking for sharks potentially. There have been great white sharks in Martha's Vineyard from time to time, but none quite as horrific as Jaws. This is now going into Peter Benchley and how he came up with the idea for the story. So obviously there's a few sort of theories around how the story for Jaws came along. The Jersey Beach incident back in 1916, where 5 people were killed by what was believed to be a bull shark at the time. And obviously some of the characters were influenced from that story. A little bit more about Peter Benchley, his background, sort of where he grew up, where he spent his summers. Here we've got a bit of information and a photograph from Blue Water, White Death, the 1971 sort of documentary film, which sort of heavily inspired people's fascination with sharks, but also inspired Benchley and his story around Jaws. And we've also got a picture of Frank Mundus, the famed sports fisherman, with one of his catches. Here we've got producers David Brown and Richard Zanuck, cover of the original book, and a very young Steven Spielberg, just talking about some of the reasons why he wanted to do Jaws. This is a little bit about Steven Spielberg's previous work before Jaws. So on the left you've got a picture of Steven Spielberg with his cast from Sugarland Express, and on the right hand side you've got Dennis Weaver in a publicity still from the TV movie Duel. If you've not seen Duel, you guys need to watch that, it's amazing. So a little bit more about the behind the scenes. An amazing picture of Bruce in the tank back at one of the MGM studios, and producer and Zanuck and Spielberg talking about something. And then it goes into the actors, so starting with Roy Scheider. And then we talk about the shoot from hell. Obviously everyone's familiar with the production and how difficult it was for those guys to shoot. some more production stills, some on-location stuff as well. So you've got the Jaws production office on the left, and then Roy Scheider filming a scene on the island. Here are some more of the photographs that you may not have seen before. So on the left-hand side, you've got one with Roy Scheider sort of being directed and sort of shot being framed for the initial sort of waking up sequence when we first meet the Brody family. Bottom left-hand corner, you've got a really famous picture there of the original vision for the scene for Alex Kintner. And we've got Brody here, obviously panicking and trying to get everybody out of the water. This is one of the other pictures that we hadn't seen before. A really nice, clear photograph of Richard Dreyfuss with the prop arm, which you kind of glimpse in the movie. But that's a really nice, clear picture. I'm not sure if everybody would have seen that before. There he is, Quint. Ugh, what an image. What an image. The thing that I really like about this book is that the images are just so clear. They've done a really good job with the printing. They've always taken a lot of time to get as high-res pictures as possible and just make sure the quality of the printing is great. Again, two more pictures here that we might not necessarily have seen before. One of Richard Dreyfuss with Spielberg with the tiger shark known as Oscar, and another one over here taken a bit farther out with Hooper inspecting the shark in amongst the crowd on Amity Island. A couple more photographs from the Ben Gardner sequence and the tiger shark autopsy. And here we have a really nice picture of the cast and crew. So you've got Dreyfuss, Scheider, Spielberg, Murray Hamilton, and screenwriter / actor Carl Gottlieb, all sort of talking about the Paint Happy Bastards scene, no doubt. And I believe in the far left, you've got what's possibly Jeffrey Kramer climbing a ladder, taking a look at that sign, possibly trying to paint over it. That's a pretty famous picture on the left-hand side. That's from the alternative version of the estuary scene where the shark has got the estuary victim in his mouth, and the victim reaches out for Michael Brody, and they go for a little bit of a swim before the estuary victim lets Michael go, and the shark swims away with its dinner. There was a lot more of the extended scenes in Quint's shack, and you'll see quite a lot of those behind the scenes photographs. So Robert Shaw wearing the butcher's apron, you can see his mate just there on the right hand side. More of a profile on Richard Dreyfuss, nice picture there, him looking happy. Sort of going through Richard Dreyfuss's body of work, out of the three actors, he's probably the most famous and has got the most sort of wide-ranging work, obviously because he's lived sort of quite a lot longer. And it's nice to see that they've included sort of an overview of his career post and pre-Jaws in the book, which is great. Beautiful, vibrant picture here of Robert Shaw. Really like this one. That's an absolutely stunning picture. What a handsome bloke. Now this picture I hadn't seen before until I saw it in this book, which is Bruce and Roy Scheider. Now, Roy Scheider, as we all know, loved his time in the sun, and as you can see, just by looking at the contrast on the picture, his body's quite dark and his head's quite light, and I imagine that's probably makeup. And in Jaws 2, apparently it got so bad with his sun tanning, or his insistence on sun tanning, that he actually had to be colour corrected in post-production because he kept changing colour. But again, another beautiful clear picture, and quite a new one for probably quite a few people. Here we go, more of the production itself. So I love these pictures here, where you've got obviously the orca anchored, you've got Bruce with the shark platform underneath him coming through, and then you've got the really makeshift camera rig where you've got the special camera that's been built by Bill Butler and his crew. Virtually, I think they worked it out, something like 70% of Jaws is handheld. It was known as the most expensive handheld movie ever made. And they're basically on a wooden rig with barrels keeping it afloat that will be anchored down as well. Absolute guerrilla filmmaking. Absolutely incredible, so innovative, and a fantastic picture that sums it up nicely. So you've got the pneumatic controls here on the right and on the left. This would be for movement, and I believe this, in terms of the jaws and the head moving and things like that, and I believe this one is actually for transport, in terms of actually just getting the shark to move from left to right, forward to back, that kind of stuff. It looks like he's coming back into his cradle, where he can be transported back to Shark City, and he can be repaired after the day's filming You've also got the orca in the background, camera rig, and probably just some towboats. The Whitefoot there, the towboat there, where they would use that boat just to drag and bring everything out to sea, the shooting location for the day. That's a cool picture. How cool was Steven Spielberg back in the day? Look at him. He is literally looking like Indiana Jones there, isn't he? Just chilled out, nothing to worry about, even though he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. Let's not forget Spielberg was only 27, 28 when he made Jaws, which is pretty impressive. This is a great picture as well. This is Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss just taking some direction during the probably what's likely to be the second take of the Indianapolis speech. As Robert Shaw looks pretty focused there. As it's known, he actually was quite drunk when he did it first time round. Phoned Steven Spielberg and apologised, and they went in for a second day's shooting, and it worked really, really well second time. And obviously, we got one of the best monologues in cinema history, and one of the biggest reasons for the success of the movie. This guy, John Williams, what a guy! Honestly, his legacy is just absolutely incredible. Post Jaws, his career didn't go too bad, did it? Oh, here we go. Here's another great picture. So this is Richard Dreyfuss about to go down into the water in the cage. He had to do multiple takes of this, and this is Roy Scheider obviously enjoying every minute of it, while Richard Dreyfuss doesn't look super sure, and it looks like the crew are setting up on the left here. So yeah, I love these photographs where you can see all sides of the equation, and I'm so glad that there was someone on set to take these pictures, and again, really, really high quality as well. So here's Robert Shaw and Bruce with their climactic fight scene. We all know how that ends. I love this picture on the right with Robert Shaw. Just, yeah, okay, that's me. I'm done. I'm sorted. Can I go home now? Love it. And this is another great photograph. I mean, one thing I do like about this, and again, this goes back to the team who put this together to really just give it some forethought and really plan the book out. They've even got little touches like the original storyboarding from Joe Alves when they were first sort of designing and sort of trying to put together the scenes, what they're going to look like. And you've actually got the photograph of what you end up getting in the movie. This is why I really like this book. It's obviously been put together by a team of people who really know the movie, really love the movie, and they understand what the fans are going to want from it as well, which is why I think this has become one of the most in-demand sort of Jaws collector's books in recent times. So there's another great picture of Roy Scheider on the mast of a sinking orca with the crew at the bottom and Bruce just kind of hanging around waiting for his next bit of direction. You've got Werner Fields and Richard Dreyfuss. Werner Fields obviously edited Jaws and ended up winning the Oscar for that, and deservedly so. And you've got Richard Zanuck, Roy Scheider and David Brown just enjoying the plaudits and the awards from Jaws. Final actor profile is Robert Shaw, looking pretty dapper there. And again, goes into his career, sort of the things that he did pre and post Jaws. And again, some really great photographs. So chapter 3, A Legacy of Fear. Thanks to Jaws, sharks earned a reputation as calculated killers, leading to their demonization and mass brutal slaughter. Well, don't necessarily agree with that. Jaws also created a lot of shark lovers, and a lot of people pursued careers in shark conservation because they were purely fascinated. But that's the angle they've taken. So let's pursue through. So beautiful picture of a stunning great white shark coming towards us. And then a great white shark there about to breach. So some really nice photographs here. Not a huge amount of text in this area, but the pictures are stunning. And yep, that's absolutely correct. Peter Benchley and his wife Wendy spent a lot of time trying to protect sharks and promote a positive message around understanding and try and change the perception of sharks. Something that we're super passionate about here on the Daily Jaws as well. We're absolutely pro-shark, and I look forward to working with some experts in the future. Look at that. Look at that picture. And yeah, that's probably more like the truth when it comes to sharks and man, if anything. We've done a lot more sort of damage to sharks than they ever have us, and we know that we can coexist if we want to. But we need to turn that tide. I think people, particularly younger people as well, who watch Jaws sort of today, they now have access to stuff like the internet and just video of sharks not attacking people. So they don't believe all the sensationalist stuff, and I think they do a really cool job of sort of separating fact from fiction, and again continue to be inspired to love sharks rather than fear them. Hey, love that picture. There we go. Now, the only thing that's disappointing about this book in places is that the photographs are kind of skewed by this seam. You know, this picture would have been great just on a separate page on its own, or maybe with a couple more. But overall, it's a really, really well stocked, really well thought out commemorative booklet. And I think, you know, it's definitely worth anyone's time to sort of try and find a copy for a reasonable price. But as I say right now, it is pretty expensive online. We were very lucky to get a copy. But there you have it. That's the Jaws 45th Anniversary Life Magazine commemorative special. Tell me what you think. Did you like that review? Tell me what you thought. Did you like the book? Have you got a copy of it? Post some comments. And what we'll do is we'll try and keep an eye on eBay and those online places. And if we find somewhere that's got a decent priced copy of this book, we'll tweet it. We'll put it up on Facebook because, you know, we really want as many people to get the copy of this book as possible. But yeah, really, really cool. Really good job for the team who put that together. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again soon. We drink to your legs. Farewell and adieu. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Please consider liking, commenting and sharing the video, subscribing to the channel and clicking those all important notifications. For more great Jaws content, visit thedailyjaws.com.